Boom! Now we are live. We are ready to go. JJ, what's going on, man? It's good to get you on.
Yeah, likewise, same man. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, so in wait. I, I messed up on that. That wasn't good, but it's all good. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's start with you. You know what you've been doing for the last couple of years, man. I think you've been creeping on the scene and you've been doing your thing, but a lot of people don't know you because you're kind of like in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
Coaching and stuff like that. And the coaches don't get that much love most of the time. So let's see. When did you start your own personal space, your own gym, Yorkie? When did you start that out?
Okay. Well, I started professional fighting at the age of 16, back in Singapore, and etc., all the way to one championship, whatnot. And I was actually getting ready to to come back for a fight. And in training camp, I had a really good training partner, and we were sparring, and we both threw overhand rights at the same time. Unfortunately, his right hand landed straight into my left eye, and basically tore my retina. And ever since then, I've seeked treatments and everything, but the eyes just never been the same. Then on top of that, I had back problems, knee problems, all kind of problems. And then my wife at the time, she was pregnant, so that piled up even more responsibility. So at that point, I figured like, okay, I just don't have any more motivation or any desire to fight. And at the time, I was training with my boy Rocky Bakto. He's a current one championship fighter, and he didn't have a place to train. So I looked at him, he looked at me, and I said, you know what? Let's open a gym. Yeah, great idea, right? Open a gym. So yeah, opened a gym, and I was just joking around. I have a Yorkshire Terrier. His name is Marty, and I was holding him. I looked at him, and I'm like, what am I supposed to name the gym? And he looked at me, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, Yorky MMA, done. So which is that. There you go. That's how we opened gym. We established in 2017, but technically 2016. So yeah, that's the story of the establishment of my gym.
Wow, man. How's Yorkie doing?
Yorkie has always been the same. I think everyone that is listening or watching this, even yourself, know that honestly, like running a martial arts gym is one of the toughest business to kind of mingle with. It's not a really profitable kind of business. You got to do it out of passion. And for me, every month, as long as my son gets taken care of, bills get taken care of, family get taken care of, I get to eat my Taco Bell every weekend. So I'm cool, I'm chill. So yeah, that's just Yorkie every month.
Yeah,
Mm.
how is it having finally getting Taco Bell into Thailand or into Bangkok? I think, right?
Oh, well, we were really excited in the beginning, but when it first opened, they didn't sell beef. They didn't. It was all pork and chicken, and so we were a little bit disappointed. But they fixed that now, and it's all right. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whenever you could get some Taco Bell, it's all good.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Now, let's go back to your career. You said that you fought for one championship twice. I saw that on your record
yeah.
in the early days, and you had that injury. That injury, is it similar to what Michael Bisping had? I think he's the most famous one that had a certain type of retina injury that kind of, you know, it didn't really derail his career, but he still needed surgery, and his eye was pretty much dead. So was it similar to that?
Yeah, it's similar, but the only difference is that Michael Bisping had the motivation and drive to basically keep going, and for me, I really wanted to do something else, which was business.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that was probably the only difference. I mean, I'm wearing glasses now, but I guess you could see a bit like my left is different from my right.
Mhm.
So yeah, it still hurts every now and then when I train with the guys, but that's life.
Definitely,
Yeah.
man. You got to push forward. You can't, feel sorry for yourself, and that's what you've been doing. You've been pushing, and I've seen that you've been working with a lot of fighters. Let's talk about your time over at Cambodian Top Team. You're their head coach. How did you hook up with them in the beginning?
Right, that's a funny story. The first time I went to Cambodia, I was 12. And at the time, I was obsessed with guns and military and all kind of stuff. So my mom flew me flew with me, and we went out to one of those notorious outdoor shooting range, and we were blowing RPGs and AKs and machine guns, everything. That was my first experience in Cambodia. Now, at the time when I went, Cambodia was still pretty underdeveloped, I guess I would say. It looks like a jungle and mixed with some rural area and whatnot, you know. But ever since then, I've always liked Cambodia for some reason, and I've always like admired their tenacity to survive all that history and all that awful past that they had to live through, you know. I've always liked Cambodia, you know. I first heard about Chan when, I guess, when one was supposed to go to, when one went to Cambodia or something. And I've heard his name being thrown around, but we never really spoke because I thought he doesn't speak English. And then I found out that he was from New York, so I was like, what? But yeah, after a couple of years so that we started talking, and we realized that we hit it off. We understood each other's like humor and personality and everything. And then one day we were talking about it, and we said like, oh, do you want to come over to Cambodia and, you know, coach? I said, you know what? Let's give it a shot. You know, let's give it a shot. So I went over there, I guess last year, and it was a truly amazing experience. The first trip round, I spent a month there, and it was a really amazing experience. Everyone came from different backgrounds, and they had amazing stories. Just tough individuals, hardworking, you know. And that's my motivation and my reason for giving them what I gave, is because like it's not about money or fame. It's the fact that they had so much passion, dedication, and drive to whatever they do, be it MMA or not, you know. So went over there, started coaching, and what was our first fight? Nurse Traper NSP against Rika Ishige. That was our first fight as me being Cambodian top team's MMA coach, right? And so she received a call for the fight, and we were a little bit apprehensive because we were kind of like, you know, NSP. She had no prior ground training or wrestling or MMA or whatnot, you know. So they looked at me and they said like, Coach, what do you think? And I said, well, we've got 4 or 5 weeks. I'm not going to teach her jiu-jitsu or wrestling or any of that stuff. I'm going to teach her MMA, you know, like just MMA. And we trained hard for like 4 weeks straight, every day, in and out, working on all kinds of different things. Even like, I think even after the fight, she still didn't know what an armbar was. Yeah, I mean, but we worked on what we were supposed to work on against an opponent like Rika Ishige. So yeah, we got that win. That kind of solidified my position as the head coach, you know, because that was probably one of Cambodia's biggest win on the international stage. Then from there, we moved on to obviously Rin Sarov fighting one of the Hard Knocks 365 guys in Myanmar. It was a very good fight. The ball just kept rolling and rolling. Yeah.
Now, when you first stepped into Cambodian top team, did you make any major changes to the regimen, to the training, to the curriculum, or did you just kind of jump in there and kind of go with the flow of what they were doing?
A bit of both, because one, we got to respect what they've been doing, but two, at the same time, they've got to respect that I'm trying to improve them, you know. And I think the thing was that we all understood each other. Like they were like, okay, this guy is coming in here on his own time, on his own money, to coach us, to help us. Okay, so we're gonna work it out, and it worked out super perfect. Some of the most amazing individuals I've ever worked with in my life.
What is so different about them? You know, of course they have the passion, but I think being in a country like Cambodia makes them a little different, you know, in their own special way, the way that they grew up, right? And then that because of that, dealing with them is probably easier.
Yeah, definitely. But what I've learned from them is that they're just so tough mentally and physically. You get what I mean? Just some of the things I've experienced over there. Okay, like Rin Sarov, one of my main students, actually probably like my main guy over in Cambodia. He has, I think, 2 or 3 kids, a wife and an ex-wife, a sick mom, and a big family to take care of, you know. But he never once complained or showed that he was tired. He just, you know, you put his chin down and just goes to work every day as early as 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. and whatnot. He's just always working. He's always has a smile on his face, right? And then when I ask him, every time I ask him, like, "Hey man, are you all right? Like, where do you see your future going?" And he's always saying, "My future is just happiness. That's it." And I'm amazed because usually when you ask people that kind of shit, they'll be like, "Oh, I want a BMW or like a Mercedes Benz, or I want to be having dinner with Scarlett Johansson." I don't know, but for him, it's just like happiness. And then when you ask him, "What do you mean by happiness?" He said like waking up with a smile on his face. That's just like, oh man, I love the guy so much because of that. Yeah.
When you look at that team, right?
Yeah.
Cambodia is not really known right now for their fighters. Do you see that team as kind of like a newer version of, let's say like a Team Lakay in the Philippines? Because a few years back, nobody knew who Team Lakay was, but they were always there. They were always grinding. They were always training. And do you see that potential in Cambodian top team?
I do see it, but it will be I feel like it will be a tougher climb, but it's very possible, and I believe that we're on the way. So the one thing I've always told my guys in Cambodian top team is like, guys, I'm not just about the victory. I'm about effort and your own personal development. Okay, so for example, like my guy Rin, right? He's always struggled with grapplers and wrestlers and jiu-jitsu experts in the past fights, and he's been finished with submissions, or he's been outpoint or whatnot. And in his last fight, he lost, but he showed himself that, whoa, I can actually go that far, and that's kind of, so yeah. To answer your question, I do see it that there's a potential for that in future, And let's be honest, almost every opponent that won championship throws at my Cambodian guys, they're tough fights, and we love tough fights. Yeah, I mean, we don't want to go like, oh, I want an easy matchup, No, no. Everyone wants the toughest fight of their life because that's what makes them Cambodian. Yeah, I mean, think about it. The country, for a few years they were wiped out. It was a genocide, and this is nothing but just personal glory. Another step to making Cambodia a better known country on the international stage.
That's one thing I like about One Championship. There's a lot of stuff that people hate about One Championship, but one thing that I like about them is that, if you go in there and you fight, and you take fights, and even if you lose, they'll bring you back and keep bringing you back and keep paying you to fight, man. And you see that a lot, Sometimes, some guys will fight once and they'll be gone, but other guys, man, they'll come in and they'll fight like 10 times for the promotion in a span of like 2 years, which is really unheard of, in modern MMA, of guys fighting that much. But it's not about wins and losses a lot of the times. It's about just going out there and, representing your team and, the martial arts way, let's just say it like that, right? So it's great. I think that's what, Cambodian top team has for them. Even though they won't win every fight, but those guys will go out there and put everything into the fights and and try to do their best, and which it shows, man, because if you watch One Championship, the Cambodian guys are gonna come and bang.
Yeah, it's a war every single time, because they gotta put food on the table, like literally put food on the table. The like one fight in One Championship is enough for their entire family for like a month. It's crazy, isn't it? Like you're like sometimes you complain about your own life, and then you look at them and you're like, you got no rights to complain, So yeah, that's why they bring it every single time. It's national pride, family pride, personal pride. Combine all of that, boom, you get war. Yeah.
Now for you, when are you heading back? Because right now you are back in Bangkok at your own establishment. When are you gonna go back and start coaching them again?
July 18th, I believe that's my flight. Yeah, July 18th, correct.
And who are you getting ready to fight next?
Oh man, I gotta.
There's a lot of fighters out there.
Yeah, it should be NSP again.
Okay.
Should be NSP, yeah, for now. But we never know what's next. Yeah.
But All right, man. Let's start talking about Asian MMA. We talked about what you're doing. Let's talk about the last big card that happened. One championship, Enter the Dragon. There's a lot of stuff, but the first thing I want to get into is that controversial kickboxing match between Sang Pai and Giorgio Petrosian. When I first watched that fight live, I thought the decision was right. I thought that Pejindi, the Pejindi guy won the fight. But then I went back and watched it again, and I thought, no, man, Petrosian won that fight. I thought that they got the decision wrong. But the overturning the fight into a no contest, I didn't believe in that. But I thought Petrosian did win that fight. I thought the judges got the fight wrong. What did you think about it? Did you watch that fight again?
To be really honest, I don't think I watched this fight. I didn't watch the fight, but I've seen the controversy that followed after in the comments, and everyone's talking about it. Watch a bit of it. Personally, maybe because I'm pretty simple-minded, but I'll say just fight again. Make it clear once and for all. I mean, it does sound a bit weird, like from a win into a no contest when there was no fouls or disqualifications or some sort of malice that was involved in the fight, and suddenly it was in a no contest. But personally, I feel like both sides, including and also one, there's so much of that. Okay, it's this, it's that, might as well just. Come on, guys. Let's get a rematch. Let's get a good fight going. Nothing but respect, nothing but class act. Just a good old fight, rematch that out, and see what's next. But I do understand that. I think I've seen Peche Indy. They pulled out, no?
Yeah, they did. They pulled out the tournament. They don't agree with the decision. They like the decision that the judges gave out in the fight at the end of the fight. And I guess him and Pet Dam is both. I think they're both at the temple. They're doing something out there.
Yeah. I think
right.
Yeah.
So they're not. I don't think you could reach them right now. You could reach their manager, or the owner of Pitch Indie, but I don't think you can reach those guys. So, they said that they pulled out the tournament. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm pretty sure One Championship is behind the scenes trying to get this all figured out and try to get the rematch going. But yeah, it's true. If there is so much controversy, you should just let them fight again. But I thought, when I rewatched the fight, and I don't really watch the kickboxing stuff. I don't really follow it as much because I'm an MMA guy, man. I love my MMA, and and in this one I watched it live, and then I watched it again just because there was so much controversy, and I looked at it again. I was like, oh shit. Petrosian won that fight, but the clinching rules and all that stuff aside, Petrosian won that fight, in my opinion. So there is a simple solution, but it's not that simple right now because the Petyindi guys are like, we're out of the tournament. They're kind of defying, the tournament. So it's interesting to see. It will be interesting to see what actually happens with this, and who Petrosian will fight. Maybe he'll fight Yosinklai, because Yosinklai lost, his fight. Did you see that coming? Because Yosinklai, man.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, they fought once, right? Sami Sana and Yosinklai. I think Yosinklai beat him too, if I remember. That was a really good fight. I actually enjoyed that fight. Yeah, it was really exciting. It was back and forth. I was a bit like, not say shocked or surprised, but I was a bit taken away. Like, oh shit, Yosinklai lost. Because here in Thailand, we see Yosinklai as he's one of the best, if not the best. So yeah, it was pretty breathtaking to see him lose such a long time.
Yeah. Talking about in Thailand, who is the best, right? A lot of people around the world, they're always saying Buakaw is the best, and I think he's probably more famous than Yosinklai around the world, right? To people that just watch combat sports, right? But in your opinion, who is the best, Muay Thai striker coming out of Thailand ever? Who is that guy?
European striker coming out of Thailand? As in
no, not European, just the striker that comes out of Thailand, a Thai striker. He could be a kickboxer, he could be a Muay Thai guy. I'll tell you who I think it is, but I want to get your opinion.
Yeah. Well, I personally, that's the thing. Like, they're all so good, and they've all got amazing accolades and achievements and titles and wins, and they're all great. So I probably would say, like, I'm not gonna say who's the best. I'm gonna say who I like the most. I like Super Leg Get Mugao. I like the guy. I like Sanchai. His movements are just whoa, like amazing. Um, there's a guy out of Walkout's gym called Super Bond. I like that guy too. Always love the sit down pin on guys, especially I was so excited when they were in Glory and everything. But yeah, I don't think I could ever like decide, okay, who's the best. I think I could say like who I like, and I like these guys. I like these guys. Just very interesting Muay Thai fighters.
Yeah, I guess you could look at it like that. You could say that who you like the best, and I like Sanchai the best. I think that he's just ridiculous. Like there will never be a guy like him again. I don't see it coming. I don't see a guy, with the longevity and the style and the flash and just the movement is just it's never been seen. And I don't think you will ever see it again. But currently, I think my favorite fighter is Petem. Even though I thought he lost that last fight, I thought he lost that fight for the title, and they gave him the decision. I thought he lost, man. He was getting lit up in that fight. He couldn't handle that reach. But yeah, what did you watch that fight, the Petem fight?
Yeah, pretty sure I did. Pretty sure I did. Yeah, because I remember for this event, I put it on the TV, and I had one beer, and then I thought I'll have another beer. And I thought, I'll get a third one, and then get a fourth one, and then I don't know. Like I know I must have seen it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, one of my favorite Muay Thai fighters, Rod Tang. He fought one of my guys, Sub T, in the Bangkok event. Yeah, probably one of my favorite Muay Thai fighters right now. Amazing. You should watch him. Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm a huge fan of the guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there in Thailand that haven't, been exposed to the international crowd yet. And I hope they all go to, one championship because it's the closest thing for, it's the easiest pathway to kind of get that worldwide notoriety. And let them fight each other all in one. Who cares? I'm pretty sure they'll probably pay them the most.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, it's good that one championship is doing so much for Muay Thai kickboxing, because in terms of international stage, before the launch of one Super Series, I think the biggest one was Glory, because I think Glory is probably the biggest one. But let's be honest, it's not really easy to get visas for Thais. They face visa complications all the time, passport issues and whatnot. But with one championship, because of the whole ASEAN thing, it's just easier to travel around and fight. So I think it's a really good thing for Thai fighters, Cambodian fighters, whatnot.
Definitely. Now, another notable name that got a win and he's now still undefeated is Gary Tonin. What are your thoughts on him and his potential? Do you think, he says that he's going to get the title by the end of this year. You think that that's something that is possible for him?
Who's the title holder of his division right now?
Martin Nguyen, the situation.
Oh, my boy. I don't know. I gotta support my boy. Man, Martin, man, I love the guy. Yeah. Okay. I followed Gary Tonin's jiu-jitsu career for a while. I'm actually a fan of the guy. I like his his persona and everything as well. And his fights in one championship has been phenomenal. Like it's good to watch. I'm not being biased, but Martin, he's not just an animal, but he's probably one of the only guys I've seen that would develop and evolve every fight. He's different every fight in terms of movements, fight IQ, everything. He's just so different every fight. He improves every fight, and he's so smart as a fighter. He's just so smart. And if you ask me, I personally, I think Martin probably beat Gary Tonin unanimous decision to retain the title. Yeah, if they fight, that's what I think.
So you think that Gary Tonin has the ability to go out there and get to the title this year?
Oh yeah, if he keeps winning like that, what's him now, like 6-0, something like that?
Yeah, I think he's 6-0. No, he's 5-0.
Oh yeah, maybe another like 1-2 fights or whatnot.
Who do you think he should fight? I think he should fight Marat, man. I think Marat and him should fight, and if he could get past Marat, I think that he earned the title shot right there.
Agree. I do think that's how it should work. He should fight like either a former champ, a number 1 to 5 contender, top prospect. Like a proper, like a big test. If you pass that one, then yeah, title shot. I think Marat is a good because Marat's grappling is no joke too.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually a good fight. Now that you talk about it, yeah.
Yeah, I love that fight. I love it on both sides. Marat, he's got a sick ground game, and it kind of will test Gary Tonin's scramble skills. A little bit more. I think.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning of the fight. One thing that worries me is Marat's conditioning. If he could last, a couple, to the third against, a Tonin, because if they do start grappling and that's fatiguing, I think scrambling and stuff like that, more fatiguing than striking, I believe. So we'll see what happens with that, and I hope they put that together maybe in the next couple months.
That actually sounds exciting. Sounds exciting. Yeah. I like that matchup. Yeah.
All right, well, another one is that they had I believe the semifinals. Yeah, the semifinals, right? For the lightweight tournament that night in Singapore. Doggy and Amir Khan faced off. What's his name? Ariel Sexton was supposed to fight Doggy, but Ariel Sexton got injured, so they threw in Amir Khan. I thought that they should have waited for Ariel Sexton to get healed up, but it looks like that his injury might take really long for him to recover, so that's why they threw in Amir Khan. I thought this fight wasn't going to be close from the beginning. I thought Amir Khan did not have enough time to prepare for Doggy. Doggy is a monster, man. Doggy is
he is. Yeah, he is.
And he will destroy. He has the potential to destroy everybody on that roster in multiple divisions. And he has a crazy skill set. What do you think about him? About Doggy?
Well, first of all, I'm just really bummed up for Amir because I love the guy a lot, and he's so hardworking, so talented, and just came so close to the title a couple of times now. But I still believe he'll be champion. He'll be champion soon. My thoughts on Doggy. That left hook, man. Something's in that left hook. It's not even like he just touch, bam, and people go down. I like his fighting style a lot, and he looks like he's super strong, super tough. Seemed like a humble guy or not. He, out of everyone in the tournament, he has actually the biggest potential to win the whole thing. Yeah, I really think that it was him, and obviously Eddie Alvarez. We thought it was Eddie Alvarez. My prediction in the past was Eddie Alvarez will meet Daggy in the finals. But yeah, that's what I think. That's what I know about Daggy, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Doggy is like that. A lot of people see Doggy now with the tournament shaping out like it has. You got Timothy Nasty Yukin, aka Tim Nasty, facing off against Lowen Tyanes, and Lowen Tyanes got a skill set that I think can counter Doggy more than Nasty Yukin. Nasty Yukin, he's got that stand up, and that power, but
that guy's scary,
he's been known to get knocked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, that left hand, that's the kiss of death.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that Johnny Hendricks left hand, where he was just hitting people with that, and just like they would just go to sleep. And Doggy's doing the same thing, and he got that wrestling to back him up. So, do you see it as Doggy versus Lowen, or do you see it as Doggy versus Nasty Yukin?
I actually think, I think Tyanes and Daggy. Tyanes and Daggy. I think Tyanes wrestling is just too much for a lot of people to deal with. I think Daggy's left hook is also too much for many people to deal with. I like Timothy a lot. That guy's a scary, scary man. Met him a few times, and I come one of those guys who are like, okay, yeah, just I'm gonna let you have your own little space. I'm just gonna say hi and go that way, But in terms of in a tournament, probably lean towards more Tyanes versus Daggy in the finals. Correct. Yep.
Yeah, but you never know, man. Timothy, He
Never
came in
know.
and
Yeah.
starched Eddie Alvarez, and I picked Timothy to starch Eddie Alvarez no matter what. I thought Eddie Alvarez was going to come into this tournament, not himself, and he showed that. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Eddie Alvarez too. Like, who is he going to fight next? I think he should fight F-Ting. They're
Oh
both
yeah,
coming off losses. They
that'll
both
be a good
lost in the
fight.
tournament. Why not? Why not give F-Ting? I think one championship kind of owes F-Ting, a fight like this. Because he's been around for a long time and he's done so much for the promotion. Give one, to F-Ting and give him a chance and let him face a legend like Eddie Alvarez. Don't you think? Is that a good fight? Is that a good matchup?
Definitely. It's a very good fight. I think. Shout out to F-Ting, by the way. Thanks for hosting me in Vietnam, bro. But yeah, like I think F-Ting Eddie Alvarez. That's like whoa. You want to see
In
that?
Malaysia? In Malaysia.
That'll be great. Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be super awesome. I hope they make that happen. I believe. I think like a lot of people were kind of instigating it for a while, saying that F-Ting should be fighting Eddie Alvarez. I think that'll be a really good fight. I think a good fight too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's evenly matched too. Like the way
Correct.
that they have been fighting recently, let them do it. So now let's move on to this one was like the scariest knockout of the night, which was Cosmo Alexandri
Ooh.
starching Sage Northcutt. A lot of people are like, why did Sage Northcutt agree to fight Cosmo?
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with them. Like, what was Sage thinking? What was his managers thinking? Setting up this fight when what Cosmo can do, and the game plan that Sage went in with ran right into what Cosmo was ready to do, and it showed. And Sage, I hope he gets well real fast. But man, getting your face shattered, that could be mentally, it could mentally destroy somebody. Like entering
Physically
the
too.
next fight, yeah, and
Yeah,
physically,
yeah.
So, what did you think about that fight when you saw the
Uh,
highlights or when you saw that
First of
fight?
all, Cosmo is a scary, scary man. And second of all, that right hand was a scary, scary right hand. That was a very brutal KO. Kind of reminded me of my last one championship. I got knocked out by a Sanda champion with a kind of same mechanic in the overhand right. And I remember like when Oliver Cost stopped the fight, I couldn't feel the left side of my face, and my ears just went. It was like ringing, and when they brought me backstage and everything, I just I didn't really know what was going on, and then they showed me the replay. I was like, oh geez, I just got knocked out. So I guess I could say I know a little bit of what's that like. But to your point, you're right. I didn't understand. Well, personally, I didn't understand why was Sage circling into Cosmo's power hand. That one confused me a little bit. Because as a world champion striker, I think he would know. No, like that's Cosmo's power hand. I walked into it, bomb, and Cosmo put everything into that right hand. That was a scary part of it. His hips, his shoulders, his back, he just put everything to the punch. Yeah, all the best for Sage. Speedy recovery. I'm a fan of him too. Very nice guy. Very humble, very hardworking martial artist. But yeah, that was a very scary KO.
Where does Sage go from here? If he does return to one championship, who does he fight in the welterweight division? Who do you see him?
He's welterweight.
Yeah, well,
Who's in welterweight though? I don't even know.
Kadistam is the welterweight champ, right?
Yeah.
So the welterweight division is not that stacked, to be honest with you. It's probably about 10 guys in there, and Sage is one of those 10 guys. So who does he fight? I don't know. A lot of people are speculating he should fight somebody from Egyptian top team or something like that, Who knows, man? But what
are
about
they still
Cosmo,
around?
man? Of
Egyptian
course,
top
man.
team.
They're still around. What about Cosmo? Do you think he should fight for the title?
Was that his first MMA fight?
No. He's had like 6 fights, I think, in MMA.
But that was his first MMA fight in one, right?
Yeah, his first fight in one, but he's 8-1 in MMA.
Ooh, wow, that's impressive. I'd probably like to see one more fight, but I don't know who though. Yeah, I would like to see who is Aguilan fighting again in China?
Sexyama.
Yeah. Probably. I'll probably like to see Sage take on maybe Aguilan. Actually, yeah, you're right. I know it's just not too stacked. I don't know much about the welterweights, to be honest with you. Yeah, but as for Cosmo, I like to see maybe another fight. Then if he gets another vicious KO, then yeah, please title shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kadestam, who's the champ, I think 2 fights ago he fought a guy from the States, Tyler McGuire, a really
Mm-hmm.
good fighter, right? He fought for the title. He was undefeated when he went into that title fight. He fights out of Sick Jitsu, with Rich Little,
Mm-hmm.
Michael Chiesa, all those guys. So I think Cosmo should fight someone like him, someone that already fought for the title, and to see if he can knock that guy out. And if he can knock him out, give him a title shot. It wouldn't be bad to have Cosmo as your champion, because he's such a humble guy. He's such a soft spoken, nice guy, and but he goes in there and just destroys people. It's just crazy
Mm.
what he can do.
Well, you know what they say, right? The quietest are like usually the scariest.
Yeah,
But yeah,
assassin.
yeah. I think that's a good one too. Like I said, I don't know too much about the welterweight division.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, a lot of people
yeah.
don't. I don't really know much about it either, but this is just the names that are off the top of my head
Mm.
that I'm thinking about.
But I would like
Let's
to
move on.
see
Yeah.
Sage fight again after he recovers, and then Cosmo fighting one of the top guys, and then get
Mhm.
yeah, I definitely agree with that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the main event. Christian Lee, he becomes the lightweight champion. He knocks out Shinya Aoki. Did you see that happening? I saw it happening. I predicted a second round knockout, and that's what happened. But that first round was hectic, though.
Yeah, that was a weird fight for me to watch actually. It it does it looked like well yeah it was right, just two teammates trying to see who gets the belt at the end. Um, my personal opinion is I actually wasn't surprised. I wouldn't be surprised or shocked whoever wins. So let me say, if Shinya won, I'm like, yeah, Shinya won. If Christian Lee wins, I'm like, yeah, he won. I don't know, maybe because like my I've seen teammates fight teammates before, and it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, either one wins. It's like, yeah, he won. So yeah, yeah. But the first round, um, I thought that was it. I thought when he took Christian Lee down, he got mount and everything. I thought he was just gonna finish with a sub and then remains champion. But now Christian Lee came back second round, finished off Shinya, became the champ. That was remarkable.
Yeah, when he got him in mount, and then he had him in that arm bar, right? I almost felt like Shinya didn't go full blast with that arm bar. Like he wasn't. I don't know. It's like I don't know. Like I get a feeling that he was kind of holding back a little bit because he was his teammate. Like he was the younger kid in there, and I don't know. I just get that feeling, right? But
Well,
Christian, he got out of it.
well, you're not wrong for thinking like that because whoever gets out of Shinya Aoki's armbar,
Exactly.
I mean, jeez, no one gets out of Shinya Aoki's armbar. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he was holding back and he did have intentions of passing the torch or whatnot. Or maybe Christian was just really good at defending armbars. God knows what happens when in fight, you never know what's gonna happen. Um, whoever wins, I'll be like, yeah, he won. Yeah, he won. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
but
think.
then I also look at it as they've trained a lot together before in the past, and Christian's probably been in that position while they were grappling, and he kind of understood like what Shinya's tendencies were in that
Mm,
position, in the deep inside the armbar. Because he's
mm,
probably been submitted with that armbar before, and because of that, he knows what to do in that spot, and he that's what he did. He executed. The muscle memory came in from all those sparring sessions, if they did have those, and he got out of it. And and when Christian punched and knocked out Shinya Aoki, there's no like getting out of that, right? It's like once you're
yeah,
knocked out,
yeah,
you're knocked out, right? So
yeah, yeah.
that's what happened. It is what it is. Who do you think should fight Christian Lee next? Do you think they should wait for the tournament winner, or should someone come in there and fight him right away?
Man, I'm like so confused about all the weight classes now. I gotta check. What weight class is this? Lightweight or featherweight
Yeah,
or
lightweight,
is
lightweight.
this lightweight? Yeah, I say tournament winner.
Just
Yeah,
wait for that guy.
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta like go onto the app, right, and then click on athletes, and then I guess we can see
Do they have the weight divisions on there?
No, I doubt so. I think it's
Yeah.
just a list of athletes.
Hey, the app's nice, but I wish they would just put like the weight classes and separate the
Yeah.
fighters with their weight class, so we could just go in there and see who's fighting at what weight class, and it makes it a little bit more simple for the average person that's using the app, and it'll make it simpler for us to understand who's in what weight class. But yeah, Christian Lee, he is the new lightweight champion, and shout out to Christian Lee, man. He's always been cool. You know, he's always like, he always been respectful. And
Mm-hmm.
but you know what though? I still believe that him and Martin have a rivalry, even though Martin beat him twice, and
Yeah,
I
I'll say
think it's
fight again.
deep
Yeah.
down inside, even though Martin, he's past that, but deep down inside, I believe Christian is burning inside him, man. Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
wants that fight and he wants that revenge, and Martin's just sitting in Florida, just chilling with the belt and
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
as he can be,
Yeah.
right? So and he's not looking at the in the past. So yeah, man. Moving on, this weekend in Japan, you got Ryzen 16 popping up. I love Ryzen. I watch every Ryzen
Oh
event.
man, I love Ryzen too. Who very exciting. Home of
Let's
yeah,
start.
man. Awesome.
Let's start at the top of the card, right? Which is one of the biggest fights I think of the year,
Mm.
in any weight division, which is Ayaka Hamasaki defending her super atomweight title versus Jinyu Frey, and Jinyu Frey is the atomweight champion of Invicta.
She's Korean, right?
She's half Korean, yeah.
Your girl.
Yeah, of course, man. You gotta
Yeah.
support, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, they fought before. They fought
Yeah.
in Invicta when Ayaka Hamasaki was the champ, and she beat Jinyu Frey. But it was competitive until I think Jinyu Frey got cut, and then they stopped the fight, and Hamasaki got the win. Doctor stoppage or whatever. So, if you break down this fight, I'm gonna talk about like what I believe could be the path to victory for each fighter.
Mm.
Hamasaki, of course, she's great on the ground. If she gets the fight to the ground, the fight is going to be over. I believe Hamasaki will win the fight. But if Jin can stay off the ground, Jin will win the fight. So I think it's that simple. I think it's that black and white with this fight,
Yeah.
from their past fight
Grappler versus
and the
striker.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Mm.
grappler versus striker type thing. So um, it would be crazy to see Hamasaki like knock out Jin or Jin submit Hamasaki. I would like to see one of those things happen too. What do you think about this fight and how it will play out?
Well, probably same thoughts as you. It's just one of those like if you do what you do best, you're gonna win. And if this girl do what she does best, she's gonna win. Um, yeah, that's what I think. Not much comments about that fight, to be honest, because I don't know. I'm not really that excited about this particular fight for some reason. For some reason, yeah.
Which one you looking at right now? Which fight you looking at on this card? Like, hey, this one, I'm looking at this fighter. I'm interested in what they can do. Well, who are you?
Well, I'm a big fan of Miyu Yamamoto. Yeah,
Okay,
so whoever she fights, I'm always watching. Urson, obviously, I had the privilege to train with Kit and Urson when they were in Thailand for a while. Oh shit, Top Noise fighting from Tiger Muay Thai. Yeah, lovely personality. Darren Cruikshank as usual. Yeah, yeah, that's about it. Not, yeah, just it is what it is, I guess, for this cut.
So for Ryzen, you're more like interested when you watch it. You're kind of focused on certain fighters that you follow or you've ran into before, like say like a Urson or somebody like that. Is that
Yeah, it depends though. It depends though. Like sometimes I'll just watch the Rising events, and there are a few fighters that would catch my eye, and I would follow their career. I really really follow their career. For example, like Urson was a bit different because I think when we trained, he was just preparing for Kron. Yeah, that was his first pro MMA fight in Rising and whatnot. Who else? Darren Cruikshank. I followed his career since Tough. Yeah, he has a crazy kicks, you know. That's about what I know for now. Actually, I haven't checked out the card 100%.
What about Top Noi? You know, he's down. He's a character, man. Like,
Very interesting
if
character.
he could speak English, I think he could be a massive star.
I think he speaks Spanish a little bit. No.
Yeah, I think his girl's Spanish.
Yeah, that was very interesting. But yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm sure he's been speaking English every now and then to practice too, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, but if he can like get, you know, competent in English, I think he could go to a major promotion and he has the style of fighting that will be exciting, and then he could talk trash because he doesn't have no problem talking crazy to anybody. And
Yeah.
and he fits Ryzen perfectly. I think that um he doesn't really fit like one championship's way of doing things, but Ryzen is perfect, you know, because Ryzen will let you be you. They'll let
Yeah.
you be your character or whatever you want to be, your personality. And, you know, as long as you don't, you know, bend the rules too much, they'll let you go out there and do what you want. And yeah, and he that's why they're bringing him back. You know, if he didn't have that, I don't think that they would bring him back, you know, as much. You know, if you look at what they do with the promoting and stuff like that. Yeah, man, like this fight, you know, you do have Miyu Yamamoto fighting Kana Asakura, which is kind of like the old school versus the new school, but
Mm.
Kana has way more fights than Yamamoto.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see Kana just destroying Yamamoto. You know, I know that you follow Yamamoto, but Kana's just like on another level.
Kana is a vet. Yeah, Kana is
Yeah.
a veteran. You know.
And
Uh,
she's still only like 19 or 20 though, which is crazy.
Yeah, and she looks like she's just left school and she's like, "Oh, hey, mom, I'm coming home. I'm coming home for lunch." And then boom, she goes there, bop, 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 bop.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that I like about her. Yeah, very interesting. Mm.
And another interesting matchup on this card is the Rocky Martinez versus Jake Hyun. You know, Jake Hyun was down
Yeah,
in China
watching. Yeah,
for a long time, and
yeah,
he's another character. He's a fun guy to chat with, and Rocky's like one of the chill guys. You know, so it's kind of like two totally different personalities going in there and fighting. And I think this fight is going to be a stand-up banger. You know, I don't think there's going
yeah.
to be any wrestling or no grappling or nothing going on with this fight. Yeah. Other than
I think
that, man,
that's the one thing I like about Ryzen is they put together such like fan favorite matchups. You know, clash of personalities and styles. I really love what Ryzen is doing.
but a lot of people believe that this card is very weak compared to all the other Ryzen events, and
I think that's what I was trying to say. Like, it's not as exciting, you know. Yeah,
yeah,
still exciting, but
it's understandable what people are saying, you know, because of course Horiguchi and Reina are both fighting at Bellator, I think, in about 3 weeks. So you can't have them on this card or even one of them on this card. You do have tension fighting in the main event, but I
who's
think
he
they're just
fighting?
giving. I don't even
Maybe.
know because they changed the opponent. You know, last
Okay.
minute. This guy's coming in on like 5 days' notice to fight tension, which is not a good thing. You know, tension
Yeah.
is at an extreme level, and even though the other guy's probably a world champion, you need time to prepare. And tension doesn't seem like he needs any time to prepare for anybody. He'll just go in there and do what he does. Look what he did to Horiguchi. That just showed you how good of a striker he is when he went there and beat Horiguchi.
I'm a big
Yeah,
fan
man.
of Horiguchi, actually.
Of
Big
course,
fan.
man.
Yeah. My boy Rocky, like he's obsessed with Horiguchi. He's always watching Horiguchi's fights. You know. Yeah. Yeah. Love Horiguchi.
Now to finish off today, man, we got about 10 minutes to left. Let's talk about the next one championship card is coming up on June 15th. I think that's about 2 weeks away. The main event has Stamp Fairtex taking on Alma Juniku. She's from Australia, I believe, in the Muay Thai. I think it's atom weight. Oh no, straw weight. No, atom weight. Atom weight Muay Thai title fight. And then you got Sexyama versus Agalan Tani in a welterweight fight in the co-main event. So let's also Anderson Silva is fighting too on this card, but not the
Like the kickboxing Anderson Silva, right?
the
Yeah.
kickboxing
Yeah.
Anderson
Yeah.
Silva.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the. Do you follow Stamp Fairtex? You know, what is your thoughts on her and
I love Stan Fairtech. She's awesome. Yeah, great style, great tenacity, great dance. You know, the stem dance and everything. Yeah, great personality. I love her fighting style. No bullshit, straight on, bang, 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 bang. You know, like love it, love it. I pretty much every one championship fight that Stem had, I've watched. Love it, yeah, yeah. I should probably go down to Pattaya and say hi someday. Haven't got time.
Have you been to that new spot? Have you been to the new Fairtex Training Center in Pattaya?
Not yet. I was supposed to last month, but yeah, you know, I gotta be a dad with my son, so I had no time to go anywhere. So
Yeah,
yeah,
of course, man. I understand
hopefully,
that, man.
hopefully next time, yeah.
I gotta get down there too. Yeah, I gotta visit that place. You know, I've been to Pattaya before. It was just before the training
Mm.
center was open, and when I went to
Mm.
Pattaya, it was just like, how could you even train down there? It's a wild,
Right?
wild area, man. Like it's hard to concentrate on anything down there. You know, you got
Yeah, yeah,
when I was there, I was like shooting guns on the island, and of course, downtown is just the craziness. So yeah, man, I'm
next time you're in
surprised.
Thailand, call me, man. I'll go, like, you know, I'll show you different stuff.
Yeah, of course, man. I'm down with the guns too. If you still like shooting, I'm
Oh
down to
yeah,
shoot because I grew up
all
shooting
day.
myself. Oh damn, yeah, for
All
sure,
day,
man.
yeah,
I'm down to go shoot some shit out there. Because
yeah,
where I'm in Korea, guns are illegal, so you could go shoot, but it costs like $100 to shoot like 2 rounds. It's like, who's gonna pay that? Like, what's the
yeah,
point?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But but yeah, man, Stan's defending the title. I've never even heard of this Australian girl. I'm gonna try to probably reach out and interview her before
mm,
this fight to find out who she is, what is her background. I'm pretty sure she's capable. And whenever you got somebody like Stan Fairtex, as the champ, I'm always looking at the challenger and thinking like, man, I wonder what their mindset is going into this fight, where you got somebody so hyped and they've been groomed like Stamp since since a young age, and she's still young to be a champ, and she's doing what she does. She's doing what she's been groomed to be doing, right? And it's hard to derail that train, that hype train. And I'm wondering what this girl's mentality is going into this fight and her background. So I'm gonna try to get contact her, interview her, and get her on the show.
yeah.
Um,
That'll be great because I'm looking at her profile right now, but not. I can't seem to get a lot of information. She just says that she's a WBC and an IPCC Muay Thai champion, 24-4 record. But that's about it. Yeah, she looks like she's ready
yeah,
to go though. She's just ready
yeah,
to go. So yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah.
yeah. I hope she goes in there and gives her a test. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't seem like Stamp has been actually in any type of trouble at
Mm,
all
mm, mm,
since
mm.
entering the promotion, right? So I want to see her get tested and get knocked down or something. I want to see some
Action.
some
Yeah,
some
yeah. Some touch.
adversity. I want to see that
Yeah,
adversity. Her to go through it. Like I want to see. Yeah, I want to see some adversity and her go through that adversity. Then that will make me a big fan of a fighter. Like
yeah.
sometimes when fighters are too good, I'm not their fans. I'm just like, oh, I respect their fighting and I respect their style. But when they don't go through adversity, it's just like it doesn't
I know
draw
what you're
me
talking
to them
about.
as
Yeah,
much,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Now
yeah.
let's look at Sexyama, man. He's coming off, I don't even know, like 10-year layoff. He's 40 something
Yeah,
years
what was that
old.
about? I thought he retired like a long, long time ago, you know,
Yeah.
and a bit surprising to see him on fighting again, you know. But I've always enjoyed watching Akiyama in the UFC. Stylistic wise, like his use of judo, really nice to watch. You know, I remember his fight with Jake Hughes. They kept catching the guy with I think called Osotogari or something. You know, like
Yeah.
the trip, and I'm like, man, how can anyone pull that off in a fight? You know, but yeah, fan of the guy. Um, him taking on Aguilar and Tani. Once again, it's one of those fights where um, is the old lion or the young up and comer. You get what I mean? And then whoever wins, you're kind of like same thing. Like, oh yeah, he won. I wouldn't be surprised if Aguilar wins or Akiyama wins and everything. Aguilar and Tani, I remember I was there when I watched his first one championship fight in KL. Uh, he has potential, man. Like the way this guy moves and fight and things, you know. The thing about I'm not sure about you, but us, you know, being from Singapore and Malaysia, we in a long time ago, we never really thought that we could get to that kind of level of fighting. Not saying that we look down on ourselves, but more of like it's one of those things. You know what I mean, for example, you watch Captain America, you would never think that you'll be his stunt double or like something like that. So it's nice to see that our homeboys and homegirls are at that level. Co-main, main event, fighting Ben Askren, Akiyama, all that kind of stuff. It's really nice to see.
Yeah, Tani, man, he has a great story too, man. The background, his him coming up, and I think he lost a bunch of weight, and kind of got himself down to what is it, welterweight, right? He was what? How big was he? He was like I
Not
forgot,
sure,
man. I think
but
he was
he
like
was,
he was
yeah,
a big dude, right? And he just
yeah.
got down and started fighting and stuff like that. So great story. He's only 8-3, man. He's not like, and he's still young.
I think he's my
Six,
age, no, 2023.
yeah, he's young, man. You're young too, man. You're young in the game, and he's young in the game, and he has a bunch of fight. I think for being 23 years old, if he is, having 11 pro fights, it's a lot, man. I believe, right?
Very
Um,
impressive, yeah.
yeah, and Tani brings in a unique style. He is not. I don't know if it's a unique style. I can't say that. He brings in a style where he can stand and box, right, with you, but then he can grapple, right? He can out grapple guys, and he knows that he could out grapple. And I think that's the game plan that's probably gonna happen when he goes in against Sexyama, right? He's gonna try to take Sexyama to the ground and pound him, out, because Sexyama is an old man, man. He's really old. It's not like he's like 38.
Yeah.
He's like I think he's like in his mid 40s, to be honest with you.
Let me look it
And
up.
he hasn't fought in years. Like
Hmm.
like I don't even know, man. It's just so many years he hasn't fought for. We don't know how he's gonna react to being back in competition. Sexyama, you already know what he's gonna do. He's gonna try to keep the fight off the ground, and he's gonna try to knock you out.
Yeah,
I already
yeah.
see that happening, right? So I think I believe that's why he's been down at Tiger,
Mm,
is to work on his defensive wrestling, not really
mm.
on his offensive wrestling, right? I feel that he's working on his defensive wrestling just to be able to keep this fight on the feet, and then he could go search for that knockout against Tani. And Tani, I feel that he's gonna go in there with the so it's like the old line versus the young pup or whatever, but the young pup is gonna go in there with the grappling focused game plan, versus the old man's gonna go in there and try to bang you out early in the fight. And I think Tani's right now, he's working down at Bali MMA. I don't think he's doing his training camp at Monarchy right now.
Oh,
I think he's
nice.
doing it at
Okay.
Bali, yeah, from what I heard. So yeah, he's working hard down there because Bali has some killers, great coaches. Yeah, and
Great
he's working
beach.
hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
great beach.
Food,
And
yeah.
and to me, this is only beneficial for Tani. This
Yeah, it's
fight is
like
very beneficial for Tani.
if you win, holy
Yeah,
shit, you just beat Yoshihiro Akiyama. And if you
yeah,
lost, you're like, well, I've lost to Yoshihiro Akiyama.
yeah,
So regardless, I think it's a win-win, a good win-win
yeah.
situation for Aguilan. And even for Akiyama, it's nothing to lose. I mean, if he wins, it's like, oh, great comeback story. If he loses, it's like, hey man, age gets to everyone.
Yeah.
It's one of those fights where no one's gonna lose anything. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's
And
good.
yeah, and then
He's
I don't know,
43.
man. Oh, he's 43 still. 43. Like, who's 43 and fighting right now?
My mom, she's fighting me.
Yeah. I think that's every mom,
Yeah,
Yeah, Anderson Silva's 43 and he's fighting right now.
yeah,
So,
that's true. That's true.
and you see what happened to Anderson Silva. His body is breaking down. He got leg kicked and his knee fell out, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll see how Sexyama's body's gonna hold up in this fight. The longer it goes, I believe that the better chance that Tani has to win this fight. And I see a finish either way. I don't
Yeah,
see this
for sure,
going
for
to the
sure.
decision.
Looking forward for that fight for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go down this card. Let's see what else is here. Another interesting fight is Koyomi Matsushima, the guy, he made his debut against Murat Gafurov and knocked him out, which was a shock to a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
He's taking on the Korean kid, the skinny kid, but he got KO power. He's been knocking off a lot of guys. I think he has like 3 knockouts out of 4 fights, and he's only lost 1 fight, and which was to Imanari. He got leg locked by Imanari in his I think 2 fights ago, but he's knocked out everybody else. He knocked out Anthony
Yeah.
England in his debut.
How do you pronounce his
Kwan
name?
Wanir. Kwan Wanir.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go meet him on Saturday, to be honest with you.
Oh, nice.
Because his teammate is gonna make his UFC debut. You know, Cho Sung Bin. He's going to Sweden.
Probably not. No, maybe I have to see your face. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you watch the Sweden card this weekend at UFC, he's making his debut on the main card. He's gonna be the first fight, and that's Kwan's teammate. They've been grinding away, you know. So I'm gonna go meet him on Saturday and probably watch the fights and film some stuff, you know, some little exclusive footage of the team watching their teammate make their UFC debut, because it's their first fighter from that gym to fight for the UFC. So it's kind of a big deal for them. And Joe has a lot of potential, and he looks like Sage Northcutt. He looks like an Asian Sage Northcutt, you know. So the UFC sees that, and but he's fighting the week after, you know, I think this is in Shanghai. He's taking on Matsushima. A lot of people said Matsushima was going to get the title shot, but I guess not, because he's fighting Kwan now. So it's kind of a weird thing right here.
Versus Korea. Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, always interesting when there's Japan versus Korea, you know, with the history and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you see anybody else on this card, you know, that is a notable?
FYI, but by the way, you Koreans are scary, man. Like, you guys look like just, you know, normal people, and then bam. Liam Harrison, I'm a fan of Liam Harrison. He's fighting.
All right.
He's fighting Rotleck.
What do you think about this fight? Does he have a good chance? You know, if you were a betting man, would you bet on Liam Harrison against Rodlek?
Probably, I'll probably bet on Rotleck, actually, because I like Rotleck too.
All right.
I like it if Liam Harrison fights another white boy. Shit. Yeah, because I for some reason, like, I really like watching like foreigners fight foreigners in Muay Thai. Because it's so exciting, you know. Like, who's the guy that beat Sam A Kayang Hada for the title? I forgot his name. And won, but either way.
Oh yeah.
I can't pronounce.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, I can't pronounce his last name, but I like to see that guy fight Liam Harrison. You know, I like that kind of fights.
They might be setting it up. You never know. You know, like, if he could win this one, who knows what can happen with how that division is working out. But, you know, like me, I don't really know about the Super Series as much. So, like, I don't know who's next in line or who's last in line. I just know some of the names, and you know, sometimes I don't even watch the fights. You know, like, it's almost like a break time between, you know, like when you're watching a one card. And then, like, say like a kickboxing match comes up, and I don't know any of the guys that are fighting. I usually just take a break.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. So
I actually do the same. Yeah. I cook my instant noodles in between, you know.
Yeah.
Who else is on this thing? Anthony Anglin's taking on Chen Lei. Yeah.
I don't even know who Chen Lei is.
People's been talking about Chen Lei, but I don't know much. I don't know. Yeah, Full Tall. Apparently, he's like
Full Tall, yeah,
famous in Myanmar.
Yeah, Full Tall can bang.
Yeah, long, lanky, you know. Yeah, a lot of Chinese on the card for some reason.
Oh, it's in China, you know, Shanghai.
Oh yeah, this is in China, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't even notice that it was in China. But yeah, that's Gilberto Gavel. This guy's familiar. I think I've met him. Oh shit! Mark Fairtex. Abelardo. Yeah.
Abelardo's fighting on this card?
Yeah, he's fighting a Chinese guy.
Oh, really?
I like the guy. I like his style, man. Rocky's like a fan of him too, you know. I like his
I think
style.
he just lost his last fight. I think he got knocked out.
think he did. I think he did. Yeah, and then boom,
Yeah.
he's right back into the mix. So that's nice.
See?
Yeah.
That's what that's why you gotta love one championship. If you can get back in there as fast as possible, they'll put you in there. Also, a lot of people don't know, man. Their the medical checkups and medical procedures, man, they're very stringent, man. It's not like they don't test you and make sure that you're healthy to get into those fights, because they do, man. Because they've canceled a bunch of fights, I know, because of guys not passing their medicals during fight week. So,
One of my guys, he was supposed to fight for One Warrior Series, and they found a cyst growing in his brain, so we had to cancel the whole thing.
Yeah, man. And a lot of other promotions, they would have just let them fight.
Exactly.
So you can't hate on that, man. Like, looking out for the fighters medically, it's
Safety first.
it's
Safety
important.
first. I always believe in
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, JJ, man, it was good talking to you, man. We did like over an hour, just bullshitting. So
Yeah, that was good chat.
it's always fun, man. I'll definitely, man. I would like to get you back on, maybe, if you're in Cambodia. How's the internet in Cambodia?
Oh, actually, it's super fucking good and super fast. I had no problems with Wi-Fi in Cambodia. You know how crazy I was? Those street vendors? They got Wi-Fi. Yeah. I swear, I would order like street noodles. I'll sit down and they'll ask me, like, "Hi, do you want Wi-Fi?" I'm like, "You got Wi-Fi?" And then you can see the what do you call it? The modem like just hanging on the store. You're like, what? So yeah, it's great. Yeah, no problem.
Maybe we'll do the next one from a noodle stand. You drinking some noodles, and I'll just get some noodles, and then we'll just chat it up about Cambodia. In the real deal, in the real Cambodia. We'll do it again, man. We'll talk more about what you're doing with Cambodian Top Team, and yeah, man, it was fun. And yeah, if you want to plug anything, if you want to give the address to your gym or whatever, do what you do right now, man.
Which gym? Oh yeah. Yorky Mixed Martial Arts is in Bangkok, Sukhumvit 101/1. Cambodian Top Team is in Phnom Penh, 468 Street, Tutumpong. That's all I have for now, I guess.
All right, man. Well,
thank you.
It was.
Yeah, thank you for everything. Yeah.
All right, man. It was fun. Yeah, man. See you.
All right, see you, man. Cheers. Bye-bye.
All right.